So welcome back aliens, this is Navin Reddy from Telusko Learnings, and in this video we'll talk about composite design pattern. Now composite design pattern is a part of structure design pattern. So when to use this pattern? So whenever you have a scenario where you want to create object and which represent a tree structure. Example, let's say when you want to assemble a computer. Now if you remember way back when we wanted to assemble a computer, in fact nowadays gamers do that, right? But now normal people, we buy laptop, we buy desktop, we don't assemble it now. There are people who do it now also, especially gamers, people working on the server side. So let's say if you want to assemble a computer, what we need for a computer. So to build a computer, we need two things, right? We need a cabinet which will have its own part, and then we need some peripheral devices, right? So we need some peripheral devices. So in a computer we require a cabinet and we require a peripheral devices. Inside a cabinet, let's say we need hard drive, then we need motherboard, and inside the motherboard on the motherboard you require a RAM, and you need what? You need a CPU, right? And then in peripheral devices you have mouse, and then you have keyboard. So when you talk about these boxes here, so these all are objects, right? Now whenever you have one object which has list of objects, this object will be called as a composite object. The awesome thing is the composite object can also have a composite objects, right? A composite object can have, even this is a composite object. This composite object can have a composite or a leaf object. So this one will be called as a leaf object. The reason is we don't have anything inside this, right? We have a composite object here. This is a leaf object. Now why it is leaf? Because this is the last object. Now this is composite because we have two things here. We have two more leaf objects. So these are your leaf object, right? So all these objects are of same type, right? They all are electronic device. If you talk about a computer, it's an electronic device. If you talk about a cabinet, it's an electronic device. When you talk about keyboard, it's an electronic device. That means they all follow same structure. They have all the same features, right? In fact, they are electronic device. They also have price. So if you want to buy a keyboard, you will say, what's the price of it? If you want to buy a cabinet which has all these things, you will say, what's the price of it? I'm not talking about only the cabinet structure, but the cabinet which has all those objects inside that, hard drive, motherboard, and all those things. When you want to buy a computer, you will add all this price and you will say that's the price of a computer, which is, let's say, any amount, right? So what this composite design pattern is? A composite design pattern will be having a tree structure where in the tree structure you can have a composite object which can have multiple objects, and you can have a leaf object. Now the funda here is, if you can perform certain operations on leaf node, let me repeat, if you can perform some operation on leaf node, the same operation need to be performed on the composite object or composite node. Example, if I want to get the price of a keyboard, I should also be able to get the price of a peripheral device. If I want to get the price of a peripheral device, I should also be able to get the price of the computer, right? So if you want to create something like this, that's where you use composite design pattern. Again, how to implement this, that we'll see in the practical video. But remember this thing: composite design pattern is used where you create an object structure or a tree, or you create a software in a tree structure where one object can have multiple objects and that object can have multiple objects, right? And whatever operation you can perform on the leaf node, the same operation should be performed on the composite object as well. Okay, so that's it from this video. We have talked about the theory of it. In the next video, we'll talk about the practical implementation of it. So if you liked this video, please click on the like button and do subscribe for further videos. Thank you so much for watching.